Hello everyone. Today we want to work with double signs with integers, and then what we want to answer is how to deal with double signs when working with integers, all right? Whenever we work with integers, we know that normally we don't have only one sign, but there are cases where you end up having double signs. All right, so we want to work with double signs. Or before we enter to double signs, I just want to quickly do a quick review in terms of addition and subtraction of integers. All right, I know you guys learned this different ways. With integers, we know that we are talking about, for example, an example that we have is negative 5 plus 4. All right, so that's an example, negative 5 plus 4. What do we do? Keep in mind that the sign that is in front of the number will determine whether the number is positive or whether the number is negative. For example, this number here, you can notice that it has a negative sign or a minus sign. So don't get confused. The negative sign, if you hear minus 5 or negative 5 or subtract 5, that sign there will make that number negative. The 4 is positive, or if you hear plus 4, right? Or add 4, add plus or positive means that the number is positive. So that is what we have for that one, right? So don't get confused. Negative, minus, subtraction sign, they're all the same. Positive, plus, addition sign, they're all the same. And then for work it out, there are various ways that we use for you guys to understand how to add or subtract integers. There are a few ways in how we can solve this out. All right, the first and most common one that we normally have is the one with the rules for addition and subtraction of integers. Now take a look at what it says. If signs are alike, we add and keep the sign, and if signs are different, we subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the larger number. Now let's take a look at the sign. Let's go back. 5 is negative, 5 and 4 is positive. Here we can see that the signs are different. One is negative, the other one is positive. So it says whenever you have that, we subtract the numbers. So let's subtract the numbers. 5 minus 4, my answer is 1. All right, that's the first part. Subtract the numbers, my answer is 1. Then it says that if signs are different, you subtract the numbers and you keep the sign of the larger number. Between the two of those numbers, which one is the larger number? Is 4 larger than 5 or 5 larger than 4? In this case, we can see that 5 is larger than 4, so the 5 is negative, so that means my answer should be negative. This is one of the ways working out this one. There is another way that we normally or some teachers would use, and then remember, all of this is just to help you guys understand what is addition and subtraction of integers. Now, with the number line, the first thing that you need to do is write your number negative 5. The first number that you have there, you write it down, negative 5. Then, if your number is positive, you move in that direction or you count in that direction. If the number is negative, then you move towards the left. And if the number is positive, you move towards the right. Negative 5 is what we place in the middle. Then we have a positive 4. Since we have a positive 4, it means that we're going to move 4 units to the positive side or to the left. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line. If you continue filling out the number line, we know that in that direction we would go -4, -3, -2, -1. So that means that we moved in that direction. My answer is -1. Alright? So that is what we have. That's method 2. But for me, I like to put it in terms of a real life situation. My method is something that you guys might know of, or you have already been practicing it out and you don't know about it. All right, so let me put it here. Method, that's going to be 3. With method 3 now, the only thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that it's only addition and subtraction that we're left with. We're going to say -5 plus 4. Is it the only thing that we're left with? Addition and subtraction? Yes. There's no multiplication and there's no division. So that is the first thing we have to do. Then, say a little scenario where we're going to say that the negative would be like if you're owing somebody. The positive is like you have money, right? So I owe somebody, I have money, right? So here, notice that the negative will be owe, the positive will have. So here, is the 5 negative? Yes. So let me write a little o on top of it, which means that I owe somebody $5, right? One of my friends, I owe $5. The 4 is positive, so that means that I have $4. So let me put it as H. Now, once you have done that, you can now determine whether you owe or you have money to spend, right? Because we need to pay back. So, do we owe or do we have? I have $4, I owe $5. So let me say I owe my sister $5 and I have 4. So that means that if I pay back the 4, that means that I will still be owing $1. All right, and that is the other way that I wanted to show you. All right, so let's do one more, and we're going to use the 3 methods to solve it out. Let's do another one. Let's say now that we have -8 minus 3. The first one said if signs are alike, you add the numbers and you keep the sign. The second was if signs are different, you subtract the numbers and you keep the sign of the larger one. Method 1. Are the signs the same or are the signs different? Here we can see that the signs are the same. Since the signs are the same, we are going to add the numbers, right? Let me go back to what we have it, where we have it. We're going to signs the same. You're going to add the numbers and keep the sign. So let me add the numbers. The numbers that we have is 8 and 3. So 8 plus 3, that's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11. So my answer here is going to be 11, and it is going to be negative because I keep the sign. Now, that is method 1. That is using the rules, right? Method 2 is the number line. Now, for method 2, let me quickly place a number line here, and we're going to place the -8 in the middle, -8 in the middle, and then we're going to count either to the left or to the right. If we go back to here, to the top here, we can see the example right there. Let me see if I can put it all together. All right, see there? you can see that if the following number is negative, then you will go to the left. If your following number, if the 3 would have been positive, then you would have counted to the right. But this one is negative, so let's count to the left. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3. In that direction, we know that it is going to be bigger numbers that we have on the number line. So that's going to be negative 9, negative 10, negative 11. And you can see now that we have negative 11 as our answer. Alright, so that is method 2. The last method is just a quick scenario. Let's take a look at what we have. So method 3, negative 8 minus 3. Now with this one, we quickly ask ourselves, the 8 is negative, the 3 is negative. So that means if it is negative, 8 is I owe. So here you can see that we owe $8. And the next number that we have, I also owe $3 because the two of them are negative. So once they are negative, you owe. Now, if you owe $8 and you owe your sister $3, right? So here we're talking maybe our brother and sister, we owe that amount. We still don't have any money there because you don't have anything, right? You did not place any H on top of any of the numbers. So that means that at the end of the day, you do not have nothing, but you owe a total of 8, 9, 10, 11. You owe a total of $11. All right, so that is what we have. Now with this, we can quickly go into double signs. All right, with double signs now. Double signs is whenever we have something in this form, negative, negative 4, or we have a positive, negative 4, or we could have a negative of outside, then a positive 4 inside, or we could have a positive, positive 4. All right, so that is what we have. Now, how do we work with double signs? When we have double signs, what we do is we need to take those two signs and we need to convert it into one sign, right? One sign that the number will be. Now, the first thing that I need to see whenever I see a problem is, do I have double signs? After I see that we do have double signs, I circle the double signs, right? So I circle the double signs. Then, after I circle the double signs, I need to check whether they become positive or if they become negative. If signs are the same, it is positive. If signs are different, then it is negative. So circle your double signs. If you have same, it will be positive, right? And if it is different, it will be negative. All right, take a look at the first one. Negative, negative 4. If signs are the same, it is positive. Here we can see that the negative and negative are the same. So my answer is going to be a positive 4. All right, so my answer is going to be a positive 4. Now, how I take a look at it too, a little bit different, is that if the signs can cancel out, if they're the same, they cancel out, right? So I quickly just cancel it out, and my answer ends up to be positive. Whenever I have signs that are different now, whenever I have signs that are different, I quickly circle it out, and then I say, or I say positive and negative, they cannot cancel out because they're not the same like the negative and the negative, so they cannot cancel out. So that means if they do not cancel out, my answer will be negative. So I have a -4 there as my final answer. Now take a look at the other one. This one was positive and negative. You get a negative. Now if you have a negative outside and a positive inside, we know, or what we say, or what we have is that they cannot cancel out. So my answer is going to be -4. All right. And then the next one, positive and positive, we can cancel it out. And if we cancel it out, we know that you end up with no sign, which still makes your number positive, but in this case you don't have two signs, right? You don't have positive and positive. Those boil down to be still a positive, right? And then that is what we have. So if signs are the same, you cancel it out and it is positive. And if it's different, they cannot cancel out. So your answer is going to be negative. Now let's take a look at some where we have more than one number, or a problem where you have more than one number and then one or two of them might be double signs. Let's take a look at the first one, which is going to be 8 plus -5. If you see it in this form, it means it's double signs. And if you see it separate without the bracket, it still means double signs, right? So don't get confused whenever I put the bracket or if I do not put the bracket. So here, first thing I need to do is I check. Do I have double signs? Yes. Once I know, or I notice that I have double signs, I will circle the double signs. Then I will say, they cancel out? No. So this means that my answer or my number would take a negative. Then I would say 8 minus 5. Alright, let's look at it. 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5, my answer is 3. And remember, there are 3 different methods that I showed you as the introduction to solve it out. But here, let me just quickly use what I normally do is say $8, I have $8. $5, I owe $5. So 8 that I have can pay the $5 that I owe. So I pay that back and I still have $3 to spend. So I have, and then you can see that I have would make this number positive. Let's do another one. Let's go with -8 minus or -6. Check again. Do we have double signs? Yes. You can see that 6 has 2 negatives in front of it. So I circle that out. Do they cancel out? Yes, they cancel out. The negative and negative cancel out. If they cancel out, then you know that our sign is going to be positive. So let me rewrite. I have -8 plus 6. -8 plus 6 now. In this case, notice that, let me do it again. 8. 8 is negative. So that means I owe 8 now. 6 is positive, so that means I have that amount. Now, if I owe $8 and I have $6, can I pay $8 with $6 that I have? Obviously not. But I can make my balance be less. So let me pay back the $6. I pay back my brother $6. How much do I owe the person? Or how much do I owe my brother? I know I owe, so I need to put the negative. How much do I owe? I owe only $2 now. That is what we have. Let's take a look at another one. Here you can see another one where you have -4 plus -5. Do we have double signs? Yes. Circle it out. what sign does that 5 take now that we know it's double signs, and we can boil that 2 signs into 1. So I know that this is going to be negative because I have a positive and I have a negative, and they do not cancel out. So we have negative 4 and a negative 5. The 4 is negative, so I know I owe that amount. The 5 is negative, so I know I owe that amount as well. So if I owe $4 and I owe $5, in this case I cannot pay back nothing because nothing is positive, right? The two of them are owe. So I owe 4, I owe 5. At the end of the day, I cannot pay back nothing, so I will still be owing, but I know that I will be owing more than 4. So I will be owing $4 and $5 more, which is going to be a total of $9. Alright, so this is how you work it out. Let's go with a different one. Same thing, but different. But in this case, notice that it's going to be a longer number. Let's go with 4 plus negative 2 minus 6 minus a plus 1. Alright, so look at that one. Ooh, it looks a little bit complicated, right? Let's take a look at what we have. We are going to circle double signs. We have one here, we have another one here, and we have another one here. Bring down the 4, the positive, negative 2, they are different signs, so that means my sign is going to be negative. So that means I have a negative 2 here. The next one, negative, negative 6. The signs are the same. I could quickly cancel those out, and I know my sign would be a positive 6 or plus 6. The other two signs I have, it is a negative and a positive. They cannot cancel out. So if they cannot cancel out, it is negative, which means I have a negative 1 here. Let's work out this one here. Now notice that this one here, what I will do is a little bit different from what you guys are used to, right? I checked there's no multiplication and division, so I will keep using how much I owe, how much I have. The 4, if you take a look at the 4, will that be I owe or I have? Right, I have. This 4 is positive, so I have that amount. So let me put an H there because I have that amount. The 2, do I owe that amount or I have it? That is, I owe because it is negative. The 6, do you have that amount or you owe that amount? The 6 is positive, so I have that amount. Right? So the signs, the negative and positive, will tell you whether you have that amount or you owe that amount. And the 1 is negative again, so that means I owe. Once I have determined how much or what quantities I owe and what quantities I have, I will add up all the ones that I said I have. I said I have $4 and I said I have $6. So let me add those two. 4 and 6 gives me 10, and I'll put that I have that amount. Alright, and then I add up the ones that I owe. I add up the ones that I owe, so that's going to be 2 plus 1, that gives me 3. I place my negative there because I owe that amount. Alright, so notice what you have now. In reality, that whole big problem there ends up to tell you that you have $10 and you owe $3. So can I pay back $3 with $10 that I have? Of course, yes. So let me pay that back. how much am I left with? And notice, because I have $10, I will have money. I will be left with money. Since I will be left with money, I have how much? Have means your answer is going to be positive. All right, so I have $7, which is positive. Let me do one last one. Let's go with this one here, which is 12 plus minus 8 minus 3. So that is the question there. That's the example there. What do we need to do? First, circle the double signs, because we need to work with the double signs. We have two numbers with double signs, which is the 8 and the 3. The 8, will it be negative or positive? The signs are different, so we know that those two signs are not able to cancel out. So my answer is going to be that it is negative. The 3, you have negative and negative. Negative cancels out. If they cancel out, then we know that we have a positive. So let me rewrite everything without the double signs. We have 12 minus 8 plus 3. 12 minus 8 plus 3, what do we do next? The next thing is I either work it out by twos, or I take a look at how much I have and how much I owe. So if I take a look at how much I have and how much I owe, I need to take a look at the first number, the 12. The 12 is positive, so that means I have that amount. The 8 is negative, so that means I owe that amount. The 3 is positive. Since it is positive, I have that amount. So let me gather. How much do I have? In total, I have the 12 and the 3. If I add up the 12 and the 3, it tells me that I have a total of 15, right? So I have $15. How much do I owe? If you take a look at how much I owe, it's only one amount that I owe, which is the 8. So I say I only owe $8, right? Now if I owe $8 and I have $15, right? That's good. Can I pay back the $8? Of course, I can pay back the $8. So if I pay back the $8, I know that I will be left with some money or something for me to use or to spend or to do whatever I want with it. So let me pay back $8. If I pay back the $8, then I know that I will be left with 7. I will be left with 7, which is positive because you can see it here. I have 15. I owe 8. I can pay back the 8 and I still will have, the have is telling me that this 7 is positive. So I have $7. To quickly go back and summarize everything, we know now that whenever we have double signs, we are going to circle the double signs. If the signs are the same, it is positive. If the signs are different, it is negative. And if you don't remember that, I just quickly say, if the signs are the same, I quickly cross it out and my answer is positive. If the signs are different, they cannot cross out, so it is negative. And the same thing goes here, and then the same thing goes here. They're different, cross out, positive. Different, negative. And when you have bigger examples, you have positive, negative. They are different, so it's negative. You have negative and a negative, so that's a positive. You have a positive and a negative, that's different, so your answer is, or your sign is negative. And then when you work it out, you can choose between 3 of the examples or the method that I gave you that is being taught. and you just work it out. I like to work it out by saying I owe and I have. So this is what I did for these examples that I have there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.